Hi everybody from John's Model Works. Here we are with EAS Cortez on an update video just to show everybody how things are coming along. What you can see that's different here from the last time is that Cortez is now in paint. And I've managed to get a nice coat of Testors Model Master Medium Gray on most of the ship. And if I tilt down just a little bit, and bring it in a little bit, you can see that these are the front cover plates, the curved front covers that go around the hangar bay. These are the tanks that go under the covers on the side of the hangar bay. Those are still in primer. All those pieces go here, here, here around the front side of the hangar bay. What you might notice, now that I point it out to you a little bit, is these are all the support struts that go underneath those covers, and those are all in place now. Lovely. You notice they're nice and straight and even. I made this jig. It goes right there, and it's sized to accept all those pieces and their widths, and basically you fit all those pieces in there, and you hold the jig in place, and you glue all the pieces down with super glue so they're nice and straight and aligned, which is exactly what you want. Okay? So I'm just going to back off a little bit here. Oh, that's the wrong way. Okay? So yes, we're in my paint booth, by the way. That's why it's all plywood and so it's bright light from all over the sides. This is a paint booth I made for doing stuff here. Anyways, some of you have wondered how the hell I am holding this thing together, because it's this big long truss of a thing and it's kind of fragile, and how in the world am I able to make the center rotating section still loose and hold it all together? Let's do that. So we're going to take this thing apart like this. Watch. Okay. It is held together with a lot of these brass pins and tubes. So here's some of the tubes that are holding the front section to the front truss, and you can see them right there in the video. Okay? In order to design how those went, I had to make a little mechanical drawing of each one of these mating surfaces. So I had to make a mechanical drawing of this mating surface and this mating surface here, and also the mating surfaces over here and here that they mated to, and decide where exactly the pins should go so I could drill right in the center of this material and get a really good sinking, a good really solid drill hole in there to get those pins in to get the maximum amount of strength I could get. So in my notebook for this project, I have mechanical drawings of the shapes and mating surfaces and exactly where all these pins go. You will also notice that the front and top halves of the main hangar bay are held together with more pins. And if you look here, you can see this is a pin, this is another pin, there's places for more pins on the other side. Why did I do it this way? Why didn't I just glue it? Well, anybody who knows this ship knows that the inside of the main hangar bay has red and yellow stripes in it. So I had to make it closable so that I could fit things together, but openable so that I could do the decals later on after paint. And I also had to be able to open it so that I could paint it like this. So, pins. Alright. Very nice. Now, some of you are wondering how this works. I'm going to do it there. Okay. Okay, so watch me take this thing apart. Blink. Okay. So here's the front truss and the center rotating section. Off that comes. Here's the trick. Okay, these are two large diameter brass tubes held in place with a big thick glob of milliput, which is a two-part epoxy that you put together, roll it together, and then stick in place, and it hardens up hard as a rock. That's how this thing is held together. These brass tubes go into matching holes in this section here. So these big holes match up with those big tubes, and then there's 4 holes here, 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 and here that this bearing that goes there line up with. Okay, so that keeps this bearing from rotating and keeps it aligned with the piece that it attaches to, and this whole thing fits together like this. And then the rotating section fits on top of these bearing pieces and rotates freely with all these brass pins holding the whole thing together. Another question that people ask is, these trusses look kind of fragile and frail. How do you make them strong? More brass tubing. Okay, there's the brass tubing. Brass tubing runs the length of these structural pieces and adds structural strength to this truss. The way that they were put there is I created some, what they call them, drain holes in the resin printer software. So it's basically a hole that runs from here all the way to the end of this piece, and also another one from here to here. The same diameter as the tubing, actually a little bit larger than the tubing diameter, and the tubing fits in there, and it will actually float around in there a little bit. It will eventually be glued in place, but for now it's kind of loose. So that's the tubular secret to this whole thing. Okay, and you can see here that I got kind of overboard with the brass tubing. So this is more of the same heavy diameter brass tubing making a stand, and some more of the smaller diameter brass tubing soldered together to make a T shape that holds the ship up. Alright, so here we are with EAS Cortez. We're doing really good so far. Okay, and the next step is to finish the painting and add decals. So thanks very much for watching from John's Model Works.